Now, isn't it exciting that a big Hollywood movie, one we'll be able to watch on the big screen next year, is being filmed in Mobile? It's going to be neat to see places like the convention center and local bars, restaurants, and streets in the movie. And it's going to be exciting to see some of your fellow viewers in Tokarev as well, like Ron Goldman, and he's sitting here next to me this morning on Studio 10. So they let you have a break after a 13-hour day yesterday, huh?
They did. It was well needed because I worked Saturday and Sunday, and Sunday morning came awfully early and worked through the day, but it was a great experience.
So it's a lot of nonstop and then wait a little bit and then nonstop.
That's right. They'll call you. You go to a scene. You'll work through that scene. You'll do all the takes that they ask you to do. You'll take a long break, and then they'll call you back and say, hey, next one's on.
Usually, how many times do you have to film a certain scene to get it right?
I tell you what, you would think about that when they do takes. You would say, okay, you didn't get that right. It's really angles. They'll take 20 and 30 different shots, but it's all angles. It's not necessarily that they got it wrong. That's not the director will say, that was perfect, now let's shoot it from this angle, and then let's shoot it from this angle. Okay. And so he's wanting to get different perspectives, and then when you think about that, and I've thought about it, when you look at a movie, you don't realize there's so many angles involved.
Okay, so have you had any bloopers yet?
I'd like to think no, but I'm sure plenty of them. Plenty.
None where the director has said, why did you just say that? Cut.
He's like, oh, this guy. No, none of those.
Now, let's go back. How did you get in this movie in the first place? How did the audition process work?
I have a local agent here in Mobile, and she emailed me and said there's this movie, actually about the same time the public knew, so there was no I didn't have any advantage over anybody else. And she said, do you want to audition? I said, it's not even a question, just tell me where I need to be. So went down, auditioned, got another email from her about a week later, and she said, they've called you back. They must like you or something. So I went down there, and actually the director, and he only lets you call him Paco, and he's an amazing guy. You can tell that he's just so talented, and he did not miss his calling. And so you auditioned at the callback for him. And a weekend passed, and I got an email, and she said, you got the part. And originally I was a Russian mob driver. A few days passed, and she said, they want you to read for another part. It's a much bigger part. And I said, okay. So I grabbed the script and I read through, and it's Detective Hansen, and I'm the partner to Danny Glover.
Wow.
And so went down and read, and another few days passed, got an email. She said, you got this one.
Wow, that's awesome.
I just told my wife, I said, if I am dreaming, just don't pinch me, whatever, don't wake me up. Let's keep going.
Yeah, let this ride go on.
Exactly right.
So, working with Danny Glover, you've been working with Nicolas Cage.
I have.
What was it like when you first stepped on set and saw them? Was it intimidating, exciting? What were you feeling?
Honestly, I took a deep breath, and I just stepped on set and said, you know what? I'm doing a job just like these gentlemen are. I want to approach it in the best and most professional way possible and give them everything I've got. Just lay my guts on the floor and give them the same thing they're giving.
Do you remember the first thing you said to them after hello?
I do not, because it was it's an adrenaline rush, and you don't even, you're on autopilot.
So this past weekend, you got to shoot with both of them.
I did.
Tell us about, I know you can't go into a lot of detail, we don't want to give everything away about the movie, but tell us a little bit about the scenes first that you shot with Danny Glover.
Danny Glover and I are, of course, we're partners, and we're having to deal with this whole mess that's been created with Mr. Cage's character. And so we are going over the evidence that we've uncovered. We're starting to track all the players involved and try to find out, put the pieces together, almost a CSI type situation where we're putting the pieces together and trying to figure out where can we head off trouble. Okay, so you're getting to work very closely with Danny Glover. Extremely closely. How neat is that? And you got to fight Nicolas Cage? Well, it ended up not being a fight, but we do square off, and we did that Saturday. And I'm a straight-laced cop. I see everything in black and white. You're either good or bad, and I don't believe that my character doesn't believe you can ever change those positions. You're either one or the other. And I'm not a particular fan of Nicolas Cage's character. My character is not. Right. And so when and people saw the car chase run all through the streets of Mobile this weekend. Mr. Cage is sort of the creator of that car chase, his character, and I'm not very pleased that he's running through my city, tearing things up. And so when it ends in a terrific crash, he jumps out, I jump out, and we have it out. We have some words.
All right, so it sounds like, I mean, a lot of action in this movie. We have detectives, we have bad guys, we have good guys. So give us an overview, the whole plot, if you could sum it up for us.
I will put it the best way I can, which is what you would find on the internet about it, which is Mr. Cage's character's daughter has been kidnapped, and he's had a past which is fuzzy, but he's reformed now. He's actually a well-to-do businessman in the community. But circumstances have presented themselves that he's got to go out there and find his kidnapped daughter. Okay.
Now you have a lot more to shoot, right? You're not finished.
I am not. I've shot 5 days. I just finished a weekend where I shot Saturday and Sunday. I'm off for a couple days. I go back midweek this week, and then I've got a couple more days in July. And altogether, I'll have shot 8 days.
All right, well, maybe we can check in with you again once everything's finished before the movie comes out?
Absolutely.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for taking a break and coming in to hang out with us for a little bit.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. That was nice of him, right? And the movie is going to come out in 2014, so we have a little bit to wait, but really it'll be here before we know it.
Absolutely will.
Put these things together very quickly.
And you don't want to miss it.
No, you don't want to miss that. Tokarev. So when you go downtown and you see everything going on, all the action, that's what it is. They're filming a big movie. Ron, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Joe?